Hello, hello, hello. I'm so tired this morning. I don't know what happened. How are you doing this morning, Jomi? Oops, let me fix this. There's this I gotta move. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, no, that's right, actually. Okay, cool. Oh, I definitely need some caffeine. It's still brewing, though, unfortunately. Finishing off a fantasy console. Nice. Love to hear it. That's been a pretty big project, huh? You've made really good progress with it, though. Cool, cool. This still works. Always nice to see. The code still builds. Morning, Abji. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Will your game work at least 1 FPS? I hope so. Shooting for at least 60 FPS. I haven't really done any rendering optimization stuff yet, but my computer's fast enough to render it at, I think, around 60. Probably even more, honestly. There's still some features I would want. Actually, we did do some render. I think we did tile map. We batched all the tile map geometry together, didn't we? That's the big draw. So that's already batched into one object. So that gets drawn. I hope it's AAA quality. Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah. It'll be AAA, let me tell you. I mean, look at these graphics. See this? You gotta pay millions for this kind of artwork. The subtle crest of the beach. Perfectly rounded. Just blocky enough, not too, because if it's too photorealistic, people get a little bit weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just looks weird. So I went for like the more like cartoony photorealism. That's kind of what I went for this. As you can tell, it's more on the cartoony side, but it's still pretty close to photorealistic. So no animations yet, but those are gonna be great. Those are gonna be AAA at least. Maybe even past AAA quality. Hard to say. They'll be top notch. Your character looks so much better than Meat Boy. Realm of the Mad God vibes. Yeah, that's actually what I was kind of gonna go for this, because it's such a simple concept. All you really need is bad guys moving around, your character and your character shooting at stuff, your character climbing in walls and like chatting. So that was kind of I don't know, the inspiration a little bit. It's a simple enough MMO that I think I could make it. Obviously, they do some sharding and stuff like that. But I think I measured their bandwidth one time when I played it, and it's actually like pretty high. It's in like the megabits per second. Roll the Mad God, but with housing for players. What do you mean? Oh, like players make their own housing? I feel like Super Meat Boy had really good art too. I don't know if I'll be able to beat them out, but furniture and so on. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, like player-owned houses. I always thought that that's a cool MMO concept. It's weird though, because like only one person can own that space and update it. So you almost have, like, if you want everybody to be able to own one, you have to make it sharded at that point. Like they have to go to some special little realm that's only for that person. Like RuneScape does that. You have like your own house, and you can build your own house, and it's a part of the construction skill. But I don't know. I hadn't thought about doing that, but I guess I could. We'll get to the point where it's like a little bit of gameplay first, and then maybe build on top of it. I'm more interested in like the technology side of things, I think. Like this is interesting because of all the technological challenges, I think. It would be fun to make it. I do want to host it, and then then when I stream it, people can just like log in and like see what the game is currently at. I thought that would be cool. Why does it remind me of Skyblock? I don't know what Skyblock is. Oh, it's like Minecraft? Or is it Minecraft? 11th anniversary? Oh, yeah, I guess it kind of is similar because you have one very small, it's just I got you now. It's just the small block of land in the sky and you have to survive here. It looks kind of similar to mine because mine's, but at least from the top down, mine just has a little chunk of land and then a bunch of water around it. It's a little island. You guys can't tell if it's floating though. Hypixel Skybox? Is that the same thing? I didn't really, I was into Minecraft a long time ago, but I didn't stay into it. Where your island's just one piece of bedrock? Jeez. So how do you get resources if that's the case? Also, I'll be right back. I need to get my coffee. I'm gonna pass out. Do you have hopes for WebAssembly for your game? It need a networking layer to relay your message over WebSockets, but still. Oh yeah, mine actually works on WebAssembly. Last time I checked it, it worked. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. Should I go to the directory? MMO, CMD, serve. What? I don't know why this isn't working. It's in a different directory. Oh, I need to. Oh, did I cancel this? Oh, I must have canceled this. Gotcha. It's failing that because I am using WebSockets, and I was using WebSockets because I wanted to do WebAssembly. Don't you do this to me? Don't you do this? Did I change the port number or something? I don't think I would do that. Well, I guess we know what we're working on today. but it did work. I promise it did. Yeah, it took a lot of extra time to get it to like to get the WebAssembly working for the rendering library, and WebAssembly for Go really wasn't that hard to set up. But yeah, I want to use UDP if I can, but I haven't added any UDP support, so I really went in like the direction of most compatibility rather than most performance. So you wait for random events. Oh, so random events happen, you get your stuff, and then you go and build your little floating island. Hypixel is very different. You read a dev. Oh, I should read the dev blog. Very interesting stuff they did. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. I like games that have like big restrictions like that. Like you start with a very small set of stuff and you grow out of that. I think that's interesting. I think those are fun kind of games because you really feel the progress then, you know? I think how you got started is fall off the bedrock, then respawn and hope a mob spawn like a sheep so you can build with its wool. You need to kill it with knocking it off the block. That's hilarious. Are you planning to make recap videos for the streams? Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing the MMO videos. I've been like I've been doing a lot of stuff. I'm probably gonna change my MMO videos to be more less like here's the exact code that I wrote, and more like here's like an overview of like here's how I added like well, I rewrote the rendering library. So like for example, maybe one would be like here's the rendering library that I wrote. Here's the organization for it. Here's some of the challenges I had, and here's how it's organized and stuff like that. So I'll probably make videos that are like more high level like that. I maybe have some like code segments to show any like interesting algorithms that I use. But I'm probably not going to go like some of the earlier videos that I did on this channel were like oh, now we're gonna do like this. We're gonna add this function, and here's me typing out the function. I think that's a little bit boring and not that interactive. It also takes a lot of time for people to watch. You know, you have to sit there and watch me type stuff out, which is kind of boring. I'm gonna do more like high level stuff, I think, because when you start with the low level stuff, it's hard to get into anything really that's that interesting. You know, I'm trying to do like more interesting stuff, but videos just take a long time. So I'm working on one right now for the ECS rewrite, but I probably won't do like recap videos on the streams. I had thought about though doing like like if I ever had some like interesting question that got asked and I like went through like how I would do it, I thought about like taking a little clip out of that and like making a small short little video, kind of ad hoc. I thought that could be interesting because it like highlights something that was maybe interesting from the stream, but a lot of the streams like me just banging my head against a wall, so I feel like that might not be too, I don't know, too fun to watch. You'd have to build out, then you have to build out far enough. Mobs can spawn without you having to jump off every time. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Basic blossom triangle, big, yeah. Oh, there's some copy pasted code in here for sure. There's this JavaScript file that gets served, and that's what sets the title. Where is it? I'm sure I can control F. I thought it was in here. I don't know how I got that title then. Anyways, oh wait, it's this one. Oh, that's what I was on. I don't know. Morning, JJ. How's it going? We'll also try to fix the title. We did recently change a lot of the reconnection logic. So I wonder if just the reconnection logic got all mucked up for this. We'll see what happened. It caused a panic though. Failed to dial. WebSocket closed. Oh, that might be the panic. Gotcha. Hypixel Skybox is an MMO disguised as a Skyblock challenge. I keep saying Skybox. It's Skyblock. Hypixel is the exact opposite. How many people can get hosted on a server? Not so great. Sorry to hear that, bud. I'm doing fine. It's an average Tuesday. Depends on the server type. Gotcha. Yeah, Minecraft had an interesting model because they sold the game, but they didn't sell any of the server hosting, which actually worked out for them. But they could have made so much more money. It would have been way harder, but like more work. They'd have to hire more people and manage more. But if they let people buy servers from them, it might not have been what it is today though, if that was the case. But I think he made enough money, you know. I watched this YouTube video which was like the sad decline of Notch, and it was kind of sad. There's like a mega server that can host 80 people, but the island server can only do 15 or something like that. Oh yeah, I did see Minecraft Realms. That's a completely different game though, right? That's like a dungeon like a dungeon crawler, right? I never played it, but it looked kind of cool. I wonder if people still play it. I'm sure people do. But we're trying to making Realms is S. Oh, what was the dungeon crawler? Oh, gotcha. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't realize that Mojang actually did host servers. I guess they did try to get some money out of it. I'm sure they use Azure. I worked making a featured server for the Bedrock edition, and the management team, development team is incredibly incompetent at times and take offense to criticism. Ouch. Yeah, that's not good. That's tough because like in a way you're their customer, so like you should be, especially if you're like one of the main contributors to like some of the open source stuff that they do. Like I think they should definitely listen. Like you should have high opinion to them. Like your opinion should be very important to them. But that's just my opinion. Minecraft Dungeons, that's what it is. Yeah, okay. I didn't really, yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not up to speed on all the Minecraft stuff. You guys have to teach me. Yeah, I was making that Azure joke just because it's Microsoft bought them. This is what these big tech companies try to do. They try to make they make something and then they force everybody else to use that thing. I think it's called dog fooding, which is a weird word, but I don't know why. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, Minecraft Dungeons did look cool. Bedrock Christian server always reminds me of Pocket Mind. Thing is written in PHP and runs surprisingly well, def better than the one provided by Mojang. Interesting. Yeah, which is weird. It's funny that Minecraft did so well despite a lot of this issues that people have with it. It's also interesting that there was that one game before it, Infiniminer. Did you guys ever play that? I never played it, but later I realized, oh, or not that they ripped them off, but they just made a very similar game. There was little to no official documentation. The community had to reverse engineer the protocol. I was working on a private fork of the server. Oh, I was working on a private fork of the server. Oh, and Go, nice. Called Dragonfly. Oh, that's cool. It's weird that they wouldn't open up, like, say what their protocol. Yeah, the game today is nothing like it anymore, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see all the stuff that they added since I played. New chat moderation thing is pretty silly because you can report your friend on a server hosted on your machine, and Mojang can decide to ban them from Minecraft in entirety. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Because it's like, so you could get your friend banned from the game. Just get them to say some stuff on your server that you didn't think Minecraft, or that they didn't think would ever get to Mojang, and then yeah, there you go. Feels bad. That's kind of stupid. I feel like if you say something on your buddy's server, like they should be the authority on whether or not to ban you from their server. It should be distributed. It shouldn't be this bubbles up to the head honchos at Microsoft to decide if they want to ban you forever. I was in some of the official Slack channels, and if you'd ask a question that they didn't like, you'd be ghosted and oftentimes wouldn't get a response back in the future. Jeez, that's not good. Who did you chat? Like, who was your point of contact on the Microsoft side? Was it, or I guess maybe Mojang is its own entity still on the Mojang side. Was it was it like a community manager, or are you talking to devs directly? Main line 38. Oh, let's check. Main.82. It's weird it says 38, but that's the last line of the function, not where it panics. 82, which was this one. The line numbers are just off, I guess. You can see the post that with on our Minecraft. If somebody made a computer in Minecraft and played Minecraft inside of Minecraft, the server made this possible. That made this possible is mentioned in the video with the mods, and the mods removed it because of server promotion. That's so stupid. There's a partner developer Slack channel with all the higher ups, some of the devs, and all the major content creation partners. Gotcha. Interesting. So weird. It's kind of scary that like it sounds like they're open source. I guess I don't really know if it's you consider it open source, but it's like there's this whole community around Minecraft that builds stuff, and it's scary that Minecraft owns Mojang now, and they're having trouble managing it all because they're trying to it sounds like they're trying to make more money out of it. Then Microsoft also owns GitHub, and yeah, so like it's scary to think that they might do the same thing there. But it's not that hard to move your Git repo, I guess. It would be kind of annoying though. There's also like GitLab and stuff like that. Petition for unit to make Git gitnewt.com, free hosting for all. Most annoying thing would be that migrating the CI/CD. Yeah, that's true. The GitHub Actions is actually pretty nice. So like all the stuff that's come out of GitHub from Microsoft though, I've been like, this is good. I like this. Like it's impressive stuff. Free hosting for all. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know Heroku just shut down, or not shut down, but they removed their free tier. They're like the go-to place to do that too. I can't find the line where this happened. Because here it's like, oh, it's line 82. And I go to 82 and it's a comment. So I don't know what, oh, I need to rebuild. That's why. So it's just that I'm super dumb. That's what it is. Okay. Roger that. Undefined to bytes. Oh no. I wonder if there's, what is that? Why is that happening? I'm all discombobulated today. Let's open up the make file and just see what we've got. Like, can you make all? Or make Linux? Make Linux. That means that there's some architectural specific thing that they have here. That's kind of annoying. I literally pulled in a serialization library that couldn't be compiled to WebAssembly. Is that what I'm hearing? I don't like it. See what I mean? How am I supposed to learn backend without a free tier? Oh, there's Google. Google Cloud has a free tier, or you can do localhost. Yeah, exactly. I do all this stuff. All this stuff runs locally. I don't have it hosted anywhere. Once you're trying to deploy stuff, then it would be hard without a free tier. But the free tier is pretty generous from Google Cloud. Amazon probably has one. Well, let's go. I guess let's go look at this. To bytes. It's weird because it doesn't look like there's any. Oh, convert JS. Huh. Convert to binary. String to binary. Why am I using? Oh, he's using to bytes. Guess we found a bug in a library. We can open a pull request, boys. Oh. I think probably what he's missing is I just don't understand where this is being used. Right key. This is in the encoder, I guess. Oh, that's true. I could look for an updated one. I feel like I just pulled this in like last week though. But yeah, that's a good point. Or what is it? Let's do. Let's just update everything. All right, let's see if it pops in. What was this under? Kalindar. Doesn't look like it updated, but maybe I don't know. Maybe it fixed it. Who knows? We can try to update it directly too. Let me read through these. Yay, PR time. What about Google? What do you mean? Oh, Google Cloud? I think Google Cloud's pretty good. I think they get a pretty generous free tier. I'm sure Amazon has one too. Yeah, I'll double check to try to update that and see if it builds. I can also go on GitHub and look and see if the error is also in mainline, or they're in their the tip of their mainline branch or whatever. Their what do you call it? Their default branch. Like companies want you to know Amazon Cloud stuff and it isn't free. Oh, they just have a free tier. You should be able to here, look. I always spell tier wrong. It might only last for 12 months though. The Amazon one. Oh yeah, there's free tiles. Enjoy these offers for 12 months following your initial sign up. And there's always free. You get 25 gigabytes, always free of DynamoDB, which is pretty massive. A million, what is this? Requests per month. SNS publishes, CloudWatch. Terabyte of data transfer out of CloudFront. So if you're not host a website, your CDN for you. Cognito, I don't know what that is. Cognito, what is it? Oh, it's authentication. Yeah, like there's a massive amount you can learn and have for free here. Yeah, yeah. When was the last time you updated your libraries? Like published an update on my libraries are always like 0.0 because I haven't made any tagged releases. I just get whatever the latest is. But I'm all in the same workspace, so you can self-host Mini.io to try it out. Yeah. And AWS has free stuff. Google Cloud has free stuff. Azure has free stuff. They're all trying to lock you into their thing, so they give you free things for it. I mean, you're gonna go for a general commission position, or are you going for a position in a company? Do you need a debit card? Yeah, you need a credit card. Serverless though. I'm not a big fan of serverless. Well, that's not true. I like the idea of making it so the developers don't have to think about servers a lot of times. I don't think the way that Lambda is set up and all of these serverless routine stuff is set up is the right way to organize it though. Yeah, I would recommend getting a credit card. Obviously, like you don't want to overspend your limit and stuff like that, but I think credit cards are important to have. Those will help you build credit too, so you can get loans in the future. I like it because Versal is free. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I have no income. Yeah, that'll definitely make it harder, I think, but maybe that's step one. Oh, let's look at this guy's GitHub. Will this work? Oh, look at that. All right, last tagged release is 1.017. That's what we have. Okay, so we're up to date on the latest one. I wonder if the one of the pull requests is like fixed JavaScript. Yeah, okay. There you go. Yeah, so someone's already got this. How do you +1 stuff? Actually, let's look at it. We'll code review his code. Oh, that's exactly what I was going to do. He should probably just use the other. There's another function. This one. What I was planning to do is I was going to write this function, but have it do this. Like, have it call this one. I don't know why he has this function, to be honest, but... what do I do here? I either fork his thing. Oh, I can pull his... I think what I can do now with Go Workspaces is I can pull his thing, his module into my workplace and then just make the change. Let's do that. So I go here. Actually, I need to do it from a terminal because I don't know how to clone repos from Emacs. It's probably not that hard to figure out, but whatever. Let's see here. I don't think I have a package called binary. Then we have to edit our I can close that one. We're gonna edit our workspace go.work file binary, and then I think it should work once I edit the file. Let's try this. Let's go to makefile we'll do make Linux, some recompilations. Sounds okay. Now let's go to here. We'll just add some stuff. Linux should still work. Okay. Make file, make wasm. Perfect. All right. So we found that error. Was it 2 binary? I think 2 bytes. I think the Go workspaces were overall pretty nice because you can just easily do stuff like this. Like before, you'd have to like clone it into a different folder, rewrite rules to like use the different one. But now I can just do this, and it's pretty easy. My guy, the library is not maintained. Oh no. Is it really? I feel like there's. I guess it was like 10 months ago. Yeah, I'm not planning to use this for the long term, but this I pulled in a lot of stuff because I wanted to easily compare different serialization protocols used by me. Look, you can see me there. I'm using it. Like I'm using flat buffers and stuff like that. This was just like an easy binary one, so I don't have to handwrite the binary. I'm calling it like the naive. That's like the naive binary serialization. That's fine. This will be good enough. This will get me through. Go can't really override someone's function call. That's true. Commit your changes before doing this? No, dude. I live on the edge. I'm a risk taker. I'm surprised Unit doesn't do everything in a virtual machine. The problem with using a VM is that eventually my workflow will probably look something like I'll probably have some server hosted somewhere, and I'll like when I build stuff, I'll probably like deploy everything out, you know, and test it there. I probably won't do everything locally once it gets complex enough, but testing rendering stuff on a VM is really painful. Because you can do GPU, like you have to set up the GPU pass through and stuff like that. It's probably not as performant, so you don't really get good estimations on how good it is. It's kind of a pain, especially Unit. I don't know what ALR is. Unlike me still using it Wisdom or WSL. My fantasy console also has a used by thing. It just points to the same repo, which I think is pretty funny. Oh, nice. All right, let's see if she works. Where was I? There's that. There's this. Refresh this. Oh, I'm not serving anymore because I closed my terminal. Oh, no, I didn't close my terminal. It's right here. Nope. MMO, CMD, client, go serve dot. Actually, it's just serve dot. That's going. I'll do this. Voila. All right, the server's not running though because we were compiling. We'll do, yeah, here, bash run.sh. Look at that. It even reconnects. I have so many printouts. It's terrible. There's our 2 people. One in browser, one in window. Cool. Oops. That's weird. I was holding down a button and I switched windows, and when I come back, it still thinks the button's pressed down. I think because maybe I have it on. That's weird. Like I can like go now. That must be some weird WebAssembly thing. I guess it's pretty rare where people are gonna do that, but still. There's always weird interactions in the WebAssembly one. Like there's always weird, like everything's a little bit weirder. 2 little Among Us on a Among Us shaped island. How do you get it on browser? I compiled it to WebAssembly. Yeah, like when I was building this, I wanted it to work on WebAssembly, so I kind of like had a little bit of forethought there. Originally, I was using Pixel for rendering, but they didn't have WebAssembly support. But I spent a little bit of time trying to add WebAssembly support to Pixel, but then there's just some extra challenges there. I wasn't that familiar with Pixel, and there was some other stuff I wanted my rendering library to have that Pixel didn't have, and it felt hard. It felt harder to squeeze what I wanted into what they had, so I kind of gave up on that. But I wrote a little GitHub issue about it, or I wrote a comment on a GitHub issue for that kind of explained what I was planning to do, and it ended up being what I did on this one on my rendering library. But yeah, WebAssembly is really not that hard for Go. It's surprisingly simple. Why is this changed? Oh, this is the connection UI. I gotcha. Okay. Oh, I did change the port, so that would have failed anyways. Okay, that's weird. Why did I change that? I don't know. That's actually so strange. I don't remember doing that. Must work though. This has reconnect logic built in, I think. Okay. I think that this stuff's actually pretty good. Added client reconnect UI and logic. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, I think Wassum's pretty cool. I'm always tempted to say, I don't know if I want to say WebAssembly or if I want to say Wassum. Because Wassum sounds weird. I feel like it's a big decision. It's like I have to conscientiously decide how I'm going to pronounce this word for the rest of my life, you know? Which is important. The hard part is reading it. You read WASM, you just want to say Wassum. But when I say it, I want to say WebAssembly. Okay. Let's go back to this. WASM. Awesome. Or you could do WASM or WASM. I'm gonna start saying WASM. WASM. I'd pronounce it WAE, some symbol I don't know, M. I'm curious now to know like what that would sound like, Jomi. That's an umlaut.
Umlaut.
I'll leave my headphones on.
Umlaut.
Oh, I thought I was gonna pronounce the. Oh, I wanted to know what the beat letter looks like a B was. It sounds like an S. Gotcha. I like how I'm here, like it's like umlaut, and I'm clicking it to like listen to what it sounds like, and it's it's just like umlaut. Yeah, I'm kind of an idiot. Wikipedia probably has a pronunciation. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, so I killed the proxy, and I restart the proxy. That works, but he gets logged in as a new person. Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly what the problems were last time I was working on this. I think these were the two problems. One of them was the server needs some sort of timeout to log people out, and then I wonder how much performance can be gained from removing all the logging. Probably a lot. I think I have vsync on though, so I don't think it'd be very noticeable. But actually, when I run this in Emacs, yeah, when I run this in Emacs, it slows, like it jitters because of the logging. But that's because Emacs is just terrible for having a lot of logging come out. But when I log to a terminal, it's actually pretty smooth. Because Emacs is gonna remember all of the logs, whereas the terminal buffer is going to can like cap it at like 2,000 lines or something like that, some number of lines. One of the issues is if the proxy disconnects, it logs in with a different ID, which I don't want. Because I think how the login flow is going to look like is you're going to hit a login server, you're going to get a token. The token says who you are, and then I validate the token on the server side when you make your WebAssembly connection request. So I think I want to do something similar. Imagine not having a text server with a built-in terminal that can handle a very, very, very large amount of logs without slowing down. Yeah, I was planning to use JSON Web Tokens. I know. I wish there was a rewrite of Emacs that had all the stuff I wanted, but was fast. I'd love that. Emacs just got bloated, I think. Like someone needs to make a Helix version of Emacs, and I would use that. I tried to modify Helix to do Emacs keybinds, but I couldn't get it to work. I gave up. Yeah, I was planning to use like OAuth and JSON Web Tokens eventually for it. Or I guess, does OAuth use JSON Web Tokens? Whatever OAuth uses. I'm not planning to write my own like authentication. I'm planning to just use somebody else's. There's two things that happen on the server though. One, if the server restarts, I need to like have a bunch of people logged into the proxy. The server restarts. You need to log in all of those players into the server. You know what I mean? So the server needs to like log them in. And then when the users log in, I think for now, I'm tempted to let the. Actually, I think I'm happy with. I think I'm fine with them just getting a random ID every time they log in. Every time if there's ever a disconnect and they reconnect, they're gonna get a new character avatar, which isn't that bad, I guess. Eventually, it'll be normalized. They'll have the same login, but for now, because they don't have authorization, everyone's just kind of a guest. They become a different guest every time. For other projects, instead of dumping network messages into standard out, we dump them into serializable replay files so we can play back. We can play back a session to debug. Oh, that's kind of nice. UID confirmed. Oh, I'm doing an incrementing counter there, pal. UID confirmed 2022. So I think I'm fine with that. I just need to have, what needs to happen though is right now the server thinks there's 2 people logged in when there's really only 1. So the server needs some sort of timeout. If it receives no interaction from a person for a while, that needs to log them out. Because the proxy goes down. Actually, this is what I was doing last time. That's right. Oh, okay. I completely forgot that I had done this. Oh, because I was looking at, I even wrote a little note to myself about this. I can't believe I'm just remembering this. I know. I can't believe I forgot about this. That's what happens when you don't drink enough coffee in the morning. Holy. My goal was basically to have in the server associate to the proxy. If the server loses connection to a proxy, then they just time out all the users in that proxy. I wonder if that's good though, because if the user ever hops proxies if I want to add that feature, I might just add individual user timeouts. I barely drink coffee. Uh-oh. Now it's all coming together now. TLK. It makes sense now. That fits you. Oh yeah, I was thinking about getting rid of using mangoes too. Let's see here. What does this even say? Oh, region. Oh, that's 15. Okay, it's all coming back together. I have user 1, which is user ID something. Then I'm proxy 1. What in the diagrams is this CRITA file? I swear it made sense when I was drawing it, but now it makes absolutely no sense. But I think I know what I need to do now. I think what I was planning to do was have on the server, I will have timeouts for users basically. Now I was originally in that diagram, I was thinking I would have one proxy timeout where I associate users to proxies, and if the proxy times out, then I disconnect all the users. I guess that works regardless of if users hop proxies, because if a user ever changes proxies, they're going to get reassociated to a different proxy, and that's fine. Oh, one of the problems though is I'm using mangoes internally. And that doesn't expose me when the socket gets disconnected, unfortunately. Like you can even see this is still running. Wait, where is the window? Oh, here it is. Like if I like you can see it's still sending messages. I kill that, it still sends messages. Well, I thought it was. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Server send update. I'll be right back. I need to make my second cup of coffee. I'm gonna fall back asleep. All right, coffee's brewing. You saw that Python released a breaking change on a patch release? Uh-oh. That's a little spooky. Did you imagine? Especially because of how big Python is. It Eve? It even released on all Python versions as a patch release. Jeez. I'm sure there was a lot of I wonder if there's a lot of broken servers that day. Did it just break the compile, or did it like change a behavior that didn't break anything? Because the latter would be even more scarier. Because that means you could actually deploy it and have some different behavior happen. Which would be scary. So this is a little typo. Python allows you to have infinitely long integers. Okay. Oh, here's the actual send. Okay. Yeah, so every user I'm sending, I'm marshalling. Every user I'm sending. When I send, there must error. That's weird. I'm not getting any errors when I send. Because the proxy's down. It just says server send update. You'd think it would fail. I guess I guess you don't know. But I'm a TCP, so you have to know because you send something, never sends. Like what's happening to this information? Does it just restart and get all the data? Or there's no acts happening, right? So eventually it should detect that the thing's not responding. They even released Python allows you to have infinitely long integers, and now they made it so you have to opt into the feature. Interesting. That's a little sketchy. You think that'd make you opt out? That would be the safer way. That's like, oh, you might be able to get a performance boost if you opt out of this thing. But at least it's backwards compatible. I feel like if you're gonna make a language, you have to like if you're gonna make your language and you've already released version 1. I know Python's on like 3, but if you're on like an actually like numbered version, yeah, you have to just like not break anything because people will just stop trusting you. Because it's like I'm not gonna use Python if they're gonna break my stuff accidentally. You know what I mean? Let's look at Mango's documentation. Godocs. All right. Socket. There should be a send function. Okay. It blocks until the message can be queued or the send deadline expires. If a queued message is later dropped for any reason, there will be no notification back to the application. That's kind of weird. Send message puts an app on send, works like send, but allows the caller to supply message headers. It's kind of frustrating. Like I feel like I should know when there's an error. I don't understand why. Like I almost feel like I should just use raw sockets instead of using mangoes. And that's kind of what I was talking about doing last time. So maybe we'll do that today. We'll just remove our dependency on mangoes. Sounds great. Sounds like PHP. Is Dracula here? I like mangoes. I grow a mango tree in my garden. I love that, dude. That's awesome. Oh, Joey said that's awesome at the same time as me. I like mangoes, but they're like too sticky to eat. You know what I mean? Like I feel like my hands get super nasty whenever I eat a mango. I don't know if Dracula's here. I haven't seen him today. Never eaten a mango from someone's garden. Mangoes are good. I don't know if you can buy them in stores near where you live, but you don't eat mango with a fork? Can you? I've always eaten them by hand. You eat rice with a fork? No, I eat rice with my hands too. What are you, some kind of civilized human? Unit base, not gonna lie. Yeah, you should see my keyboard. It's disgusting from all the mango juice and rice that's stuck in between the keys. Yeah, I've never seen a fork in my life. The only fork I've seen is on GitHub. Oh, jeez. The best way to eat rice is either by spoon or by hand. But that's what I'm trying to say. Unless you have sticky rice. I do love me some rice. And the only way of drinking a beverage is with chopsticks. You just slurp it up. You chopstick it into your mouth. Really, you have to like rotate your wrist really fast to propel the liquid out of the cup into your mouth, like kind of like a motor, like a water pump. That's how I drink my coffee, at least. I don't know about you guys. And you enjoy it very, very slowly. Exactly. All right, this shouldn't be too hard, I don't think, because I'm not really using that many mangoes features. Makes your coffee last up to 10 times longer. Speaking of, let me go get my coffee. BRB. I need to change the default Git text editor because Vim does not want to close the file for some reason. Interesting. Yeah, mine's I almost never use command line Git. I don't even know. Mine's probably Vim. Whenever you can make it Helix. No, I can't tell if you're joking or not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can select. It's probably like some Git config thing. Like what text editor do you want to use? Starting server. The first fix. Is it because how to exit Vim meme? Oh. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. For con. I need to do similar to what the proxy does. Let's go copy paste some code. cmd proxy main.go. I like how I have a server con here and I have a server connection here. We'll do something like this. It's just weird that this only lets you have one socket. You have this whole TCP listener set up, but it only lets you have one socket. I wonder if I don't know if I'm missing something here. Like it just seems like it's easier for me just to manage sockets individually than it would be to use Mangoes, because Mangoes just forces you to organize stuff a certain way. I don't think it's useful for me. But I'm worried that now that I'm like I don't understand something, I'm being an idiot. But I guess there's only one way to find out. I'm gonna have to open up the network documentation. This over here. Minimize that. You should totally replace your logger with a zero allocation blazingly faster than the moon logger. I actually started writing a logger that just had it was literally like the logger, but it had different log levels you could turn on and off. Why not fork Mangoes into your codebase as a first party library so you can just change types and whatnot to suit your needs? Yeah, the problem is like Mangoes just it seems like it's set up in a way that like it's set up to support what they're calling like scalability protocols. So it's like pub sub, or it's like a bus, or it's a pair-to-pair socket. But I don't really like want any of those. Like none of those really like fit exactly what I wanted. So like I'm already gonna have to like manage sockets like kind of on a more individual level. I also like right now my thing's not that complex. Originally it was like, oh, I'm just gonna have a pair socket that goes from the proxy to the server, and that's fine. But now like eventually I might have more proxies, so it's like I need to have multiple proxies, but one server, but I don't have any like broadcast thing that goes to all the proxies. It's like the server's gonna know what proxy he needs to talk to, and he's gonna send it to that proxy. So it's like I'm already gonna have to write something that's on top of raw sockets anyways. I feel like I'm gonna have to individually manage the sockets. Like I guess I'm not sure what I would take from Mangoes, other than they probably have a lot of nice stuff about like zero allocation, or like sorry zero. I freaking read TLK's message again. I guess it is technically zero allocation, but it's like they probably don't do any copies on their sends and stuff like that. But I don't think that's like really hard to do. You just like you just tell the user, please don't change this slice of bytes, and then you pass the slice of bytes all the way through. But so this might be a little bit exploratory, and maybe this is the wrong choice, but for now this is what we'll probably do. I'll change the URL to be this. I'll make a TCP socket, localhost. That looks good. I remember that guy who's oh yeah. I'm gonna 3 lines only because my mind is blank. Yeah, I remember that guy. That was so weird. I don't know what I don't remember why. Productivity. Load balancer. That's the buzzword that always pops in my head. Restful. Let's see. Okay, we have a listener. gRPC web. There's gotta be an example in here, right? Kind of. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted. Listener. Yep. There's this. I should abstract this, I think, because I think I kind of know what I want. Oops. Oh, it's in here. Object-oriented programming, abstraction. You're really rattling them off today. You can tell this guy knows what he's talking about, guys. You know what I mean? You can tell this is one smart cookie. Try don't repeat yourself code. I want to do it here. Reconnect loop. Client con. Yeah, dang, all these words, he must be, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? Borderline genius or actual genius? Probably actually, huh? It's interesting because, I'm trying to think here. The server con is more like a listener, and then finally, singleton. Just beautiful. I'll have individual server connections, but I need to have one, yeah, actually, I bet this wouldn't even have worked because for gob encode, for my gob encoding at least. Because gob will need to specify this. Gob like sends some info that's not your message. It sends some other info ahead of time to define what structs look like, so it can decode them, or so it can encode and decode more efficiently. And this would have been using the same socket, quote unquote socket, but it technically would be different on the proxy side because the proxy would be restarted. This would have broken for gob encoding if I ever used that, which I don't think I will because it's less efficient than binary. But so I think the change we're making is the right one. Like that reinforces that, because this would have just not worked. Just because the encoder would have needed to be recreated every single time a new connection gets made because it's technically a new stream. Let's do this. This is gonna be awkward. I guess what I can do, I guess I'll just have one data type. The one data type is gonna have the server, and it's gonna have a list of all of the connections. We'll have a listener, and we will have a map of. I think that this will work. I don't know what the string will be though. I think maybe I need to have some unique identifier for every single time a proxy is launched. Do you guys have any ideas for what that could be? You guys know of any like unique, maybe 128-bit numbers that we could use to differentiate something? I don't know. I'm out of ideas. Let me know if you guys think of anything. I just need like a maybe 128 bits, some unique sort of identifier. Yeah, oh, that's a pretty big number. Yeah, maybe it could be a big number. You think we divide it? Should we divide it by dashes somewhere? Just so we can like junk it up. The idea is finally happening. Yo, we probably won't do a 128-bit one though. G-Tax encoded so it takes up less, but yeah. Look at TLK, he's so happy. We just made his day. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't use a string. I probably am just gonna do a uint64, and I'm just gonna take like the lower 64 bits of it or whatever. That's probably what I'll do. Okay, so we need to write we listen. Where did you write the, there's gotta be some sort of, okay, we need this. Actually, we're gonna abstract stuff, aren't we? Listener, so uint64, MMO.serverCon. Those are the individual server connections, or the individual connections that the server has. To make the server, and we'll do like, I feel like there's some interface that I can implement, and then it'll do some stuff for me. But I'm probably gonna do something like this, where I have a for loop that just listens, and once it accepts a new connection, it's going to spring off some other handler for it, and the other handler is gonna be this one, serve proxy connection. I did make a lot of assumptions though when I originally wrote this that I was only gonna have one connection, and now I'm like breaking those a little bit. Maybe we won't do I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to just not really handle it. I don't really know what to call this. What do you call these sort of functions? Like handle server? Listen? No, I'm already listen. I don't really want to call it accept because that's something different. I'll just call it like run server. I think that there's some function that this should be called. I just don't know what it is. And I'll do go. It's gonna do like go run server, and this is gonna be an infinite for loop. I feel like I should have some sort of context so I can exit out of this, but for now I'm not gonna do that. s.listener.accept. That'll create a connection. We'll panic on the error. It will start a new go routine which handles listening for that. Let's see here. Let's scroll down. What do we have here? Actually, I guess I could just use an incrementing counter here. Because what I was thinking originally was that the proxy would say what ID it is, but really the server can just track it on his side, and that's not so bad. I should have like a handler function. That's not it. It's this one. Go serve proxy connection. What does this do? Okay, so we have a server connection. We have the world. This needs to be removed eventually because everything should go over the network channel. Where do I use this? World data, world.newID. Oh, for the original login, I use it. And then when I log out, I delete it. Okay. That stuff should go over. That needs to be synchronized somehow. Delete list. How do I make the delete list? And this needs to be managed because... Sorry, why is this synchronized? Oh, because I write to it here. Oh, interestingly enough, I can use the same delete list because I don't clear it here. I clear it on the on the other side. No, here's where I clear it. This is the list of... Sorry, I'm trying to remember like why this was the way that it is. Oh, this was for people logging out. Okay, so when someone logs out, I add them to the delete list. And I need to track that across all of the proxies. It needs to be the same list. Okay, so we'll pass the delete list in. Create server systems. I want to see what this does. This goes to it has a server con in here, which is wrong. Now it'll be wrong because we could have multiple proxies. Then we go here. We have server send update. And this one, what it's going to change to is this one will have to loop through all of the proxies. And for every proxy, it's going to have to send an update to all of its users. Or actually rather, probably the way to do it is every user needs to know what proxy they are. From the user component, I could probably have like a proxy ID or something like that. So I have like a proxy ID here that just says which proxy you were logged into. And then when I send this message, when I get the server con to send, probably what I'll do is I will look up the proxy and send the message to that proxy. That's probably the thing to do. I think we have a high level. We have a high level design. I don't think it's going to be that bad actually. I think it's pretty similar, and we'll be able to run multiple proxies, which will be nice. This is fun stuff. I think this stuff's really interesting. I don't know how followable it is for you guys, but okay. Now we have a server, so we'll do run server, go run server. I need to build the handler though. I'm just gonna do like a handler, or I'll call it, yeah, it'll just be this. It should be like a blank function. Handler. Then it's gonna launch the handler. I'm probably gonna need to pass stuff to it. Let's go through and add everything that we need. This will be in delete list. MMO.serve, oops. We'll have to do this actually. MMO.serve proxy connection. Wait a second. Either I store them here and pass them in, or I already do a closure. This is wrong. Oh, I need to pass the connection though. So here I'll need to, that'll have to be that, and then I'll have a con, and then I'll make a server con. Let's see, what's in this type? I have this bad habit about specifying structs like this rather than making constructor functions. Okay, I don't know what it's called. Seems like it would be this one. It's weird that's not finding it though. That's fine. We'll just go to networking. Yeah. We'll set the encoder. It'll just be some new SerDes thing. And then the socket actually needs to change now. I don't know, my language server is not working. It's kind of annoying though. It's fine though. This will have to change. This is going to be some net.conf. I'm pretty sure that this returns, the accept function returns, that's weird, it's letting me type inside of this example. Which is not what I wanted to do. Oh, there's TCP listener.accept too. Oh, this must be the general interface. These must be individual implementations. Yeah, it's gonna return a netcon. Yeah, this is the interface. So it's gonna return a netcon, which is fine. Cool. So then here, that's fine. This shouldn't panic. This is where I need like log levels, because it would be nice to make this like a warning. Okay. I have a handler. We made the server con object. Let's store it in the connections. S.connections. Sorry guys. Sorry, the UUID is out, or UUID is out. But maybe one day. I don't know what I'm doing. This is single threaded, so this should be fine. Okay. I feel like this should be a pointer. Oops. Even though this is already a pointer, that's fine. I guess they're both technically pointers, so you probably don't need to make this a pointer. It just feels weird. It feels weird not making it a pointer, even though it's fine, but whatever. Sorry, I thought my phone was ringing. Okay, now we can call the handler function. What were these again? We'll have con, we have network channel, we have delete list. So that means that this gets removed, or this gets commented. Load game happens here, because I need the engine to be accessible for that closure. Should we make this thread safe? It already is thread safe, so I can remove that. I'll have our global delete list. This should probably, I don't know if this makes sense to make this a part of the server object, but network channel make configurable. That's my to do there. So this now I need to pass in the server. I have all of those. This is kind of the other side of the thread. This is the other thread. That gets run here, run game fixed, serve proxy connection. This is now captured in this. We don't want to start the server before the game's running though. Hey Dracula, how's your day going? How's your day been? You're having a good one? Uh-oh. This needs to be in the MMO package. I need to organize this better. Serve proxy connection. Is this for the proxy? Not great. Oh no. Sorry to hear that, buddy. What's going wrong? Oops. This needs to be defined there too. Let's see here. I think there's actually a net URL type here. I don't need to store the delete list. Oh, this is kind of the tough thing. I guess I could either pass in a listener or I could pass in a URL. There's a little bit of timing issue though if I pass in the URL though, because they're going to listen and they're going to immediately accept. Does that cause any problems? I mean, I can just load the game first. Yeah, I guess this is fine. I'll just call go run server after. I'm gonna change this to start. Let's see here. Server is mo.new server URL, and then the handler is this here. This needs to get copy pasted over to here. I have connections made. The handler is just gonna be set handler. Okay, we'll get the server back now. So now we have the server. We can pass the server in here. What file is that? Oh, net. We're not gonna need that anymore. Oh, yeah, so this needs to be server now. Let me think here. Server declared but not used. Oh, I got gotted by the capitals again. Okay, so now we're in the server function, and this one's the problem. This one's the last thing, I think. So now we have the server. We want to send the update from the server. This could technically be like server.send update. Let me just add a note here. With them, this calculates the update to send to all players, finds the proxy associated with them and sends that update over the wire. Cool. Now we're doing server.sock.send, and that's not going to work. We need to do, well, there's no server con. That's the problem. There's just, we need to look up the connection. And to look up the connection, we need to, each user needs to know, I'm trying to think here. I mean, technically, I could make it the, like I could add it to this user object, which proxy they're on. I think just for sometimes what I do is I'll like do some like hack just to get it to work, just to get it to test out, you know, and then I'll be like, I'll forget to fix it. I was thinking what I'll do is just make it like, oh, it's just gonna be one server connection because there's only gonna be one proxy. But I'm worried if I do that, I'm just gonna be like, all right, that works. Now on to the next thing. So let's do it the right way, I guess. We'll just do the proxy uint before. I don't think I send the user ID over. Like, I don't think that one ever gets serialized. Let's take a little game. Man, so annoying. It's so hard when you can't just like go to object. Because now I gotta go like this. I gotta go Certes. I think it's called Certes.go. Marshall. Let's just look at the binary one. That one worked. If it happened, it would be in the world update. World update Marshall binary. Yeah, new binary component. Transform input body. Those are the only ones that I do. So I don't serialize user. So that means it's safe because it's only on the server. Let's see here. Where was I? I'm gonna put this further up. It's a delete list. But what? So when a user logs in, though, when I do serve proxy connection. Wait, this has to be called somewhere, right? Oh, I probably specified it here. Oh, works got you stressed. I'm sorry, buddy. We'll also pass in a proxy ID. That way, the server proxy connection knows who it is. And then when somebody logs in over that proxy connection, over that server proxy connection, we can associate that into the server. Wait, that means I need to put it into here. I don't know why I made this capital P. Why wouldn't I just do this? Change this to have proxy ID in it. That seems to make sense. I don't have to change that at all. But when I go to here, I say start server is going to be counter. I don't like this. I'm just gonna do this proxy ID. Cool. Now they're registered on both ends. I will need to have a mutex though for this map. Actually, I think there's a, I know Go has a thread safe map. Maybe I just use that concurrent map, I think it's called. Okay. Can't use server send update. That is right though. Oh, this is wrong though. Server. Nintendo Switch is really digging farming games or RPGs with farming elements. Or have they been making a lot of games in that space? I have the user. I need to do this server dot I'll call it like get proxy for a proxy ID. I think I'm gonna do like proxy.send. I'm gonna make a send function probably. I kind of like that. That seems fine actually. Network server. This is where I would have the thread safe map happen. But what do? We do s.connections. This is supposed to be proxy ID. 64. This is gonna return a server con and a bool. That's that. I don't know why server con is way up here. We'll put it in the server section. Func s server. I'm gonna make it C. I think it's a byte slice. I think you return in an int, an error, like that. Oh no. Wait a second. No, this is where I need to deviate from what Mangoes does. There's read and write. But I'm gonna do send and receive because I want to make it more of like a messaging interface, less of a binary interface, you know? Like for example, I have client con. Where is client con? Oh, I made another file called con. Dial, close, send, message any. We'll do that. I think there'll be some way to unify this. Yeah, these should be private. Where do I do this? Encoder, connection, proxy ID. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go here. This will send the update. This does the binary write. This does the serialization part. There's a sending error. We can log that now. We can wrap the networking error if that's the case. Math rand. Where was rand being used? It is still being used. I don't understand this. I feel like this is returning enough values. I have the connection and I have the bool. Oh, this is the issue. So now the server is actually able to detect like, oh, there's no proxy. We haven't like disconnected proxies yet or detected that. Once the proxy disconnects, they're going to be removed from the map. And then it's going to be like, oh, the server, the proxy that user connected to has disconnected, which is bad. So that means we'll need to log them out. I see Dracula's in the stream here now. Yes, he is. Our good friend Dracula. I think that there may be some weird cases where, well, actually, no, I think that, well, like, I guess what would happen if, like, the case I'm kind of having here is that if the proxy completely shuts down, but the proxy might stay up, lose connection, and have to reconnect. You know what I mean? But if that happens, I think what'll happen is it'll be like, oh, there's been some disconnect that happened, you know, over this socket. That means the socket needs to get cleaned up. So the socket will get cleaned up, and then the proxy will try to reconnect to the server. When the proxy reconnects, what the proxy has to do is he has to relog in all the users with the server. So there might be there needs to be a little bit of like, it needs to be good enough to where if the server hasn't timed out the user yet, the proxy, when he tries to log them in, will just kind of like, it'll all get normalized together. So I'll just have to capture that. This, I don't know why I wrote my sentence that way. This probably means that the proxy was disconnected. To do log out user. See, this is being used though. I don't understand why this said, I'm literally using it right there. That's okay though. Oh, get proxy, this stuff, servercon.send. Let me just compare these two. Proxy encoder Marshall, failed to serialize. This was returning. Oh, this needs to continue though. Oh, this needs to return, I mean. If there's an error marshalling, we can't send the update. If there was an error, with the connection, then we also can't send the update. What this needs to do is it needs to do error is proxy.send update, and that'll do all that complicated stuff. That'll do all the hard stuff. And then we do if error not equal to nil. We just do error. I'll call this server send update. That's an error. I think that this matches up. So now I'm writing, cool. Still don't know why that's not working. User.proxy ID. This one should be capital. Oh, proxy ID, login map. Oh, this stuff needs to be commented out. There's gotta be some like mismatched parentheses or something like that. Server.sock undefined. Yeah, so this is where I need to make a receive function too. I think I did that here as well. Send, receive. All right, let's look at this one now. What's the top part do? He reads the bytes, prints out the length of the bytes, and unmarshals it. And then we do a type switch based off of it. Okay, so that fits perfectly into this sort of pattern. Yeah, they have. What do you mean? Sorry, I don't remember what I was talking about. Might have missed your message. Who's they? That's good. That's not good, but this is okay for now. This is where I would detect if there was a disconnect error. What I kind of did with the client connection is I made like a network error type and I made a SerDes error type. So that way, if there's some SerDes error, that's kind of like, that's not that, it's obviously an issue, but it's not like it's not something we can fix at runtime. It's like, I don't know why the SerDes failed, and that's like a bug probably. But if the network goes down, then you can get a network error, which might just be a disconnect, and we can fix that at runtime by just reconnecting. So that's why we wrap different error types here. I'm not really sure the best way to wrap errors, but this is what I did. There's 3 entries already for the console jam. They all look really cool. Nice. How big of a jam is it? Like, how many people signed up? Because 3's already good. 3's already a good number, you know. Message error is servercon.receive. This will receive the next message. 62 people. That's nice. Yeah, it is fairly niche. Or I did this already with the yeah, we'll copy this code. Nope, network. Okay, so if it's a network error, yeah, so we have okay, I got you what I did. So what'll happen is if there was a network error, then we should stop this thread. I might need to, do I close it here? It must already be closed then, right? But this thread will exit if there's a network error, and then it'll try to reconnect, or the proxy could theoretically try to reconnect. But let me write some to-dos here. To do when we want to log out all the users, and we want to I guess make sure the socket's closed. That's fine, I think. I don't think it necessarily needs to be right here, but I think once this comes back from wherever the go routine was that called it, this is also actually bad because this is local to the proxy connection. Actually, why is this okay? This should probably be global. Oh, you're submitting today, Jomi? I hope you do well. Yours looks really good. Okay. Too many return values. We'll have this return an error. So this is where I need to actually do a little bit of cleanup. We encode it, login response, logs. Now we can just do servercon.send client login response t.user ID. Oh, this can error though, right? I think that this just has, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put this at the top here. It's kind of hard to read that way. Client logout response has the same stuff. I need to have error handling. Failed to send Marshall. Love it. I'm gonna do this. Response is this. Send the response. If it failed, we failed to send. That's fine. Can I use engine? I like how the server didn't launch, but the client did. All right, let's look at this. Server con. Oh, do I not need engine here? ECS.write world. Oh, this should be world. Oh, I just have them in weird orders. We'll keep it in the same order. Okay. Define run server. This is server.run now. Network. Let's see here. Server.start. Actually, I like that better. See if she works. Probably won't. Cool. Oh, there's a crash. Perfect. Nice little nil pointer dereference. Finished ECS.run game. Where is that printing from? Yep. Gotta love nil pointers. Oh, this is in the client connection. Interesting. So I think what happened is the client failed to dial, so we got closed and nilled. Actually, why do I nil it? Or maybe it never got opened, but we still try to close it. So I could just have like a nil check here. Dialing 8001, client WebSocket dial failed. I tried getting the byte stored at memory location 0 and C. There was no way to do that. But you just get a seg fault, right? Like you can't access that. I think the OS prevents you from. I think it's reserved memory in the earlier bytes of I think you have to be like in the kernel to do something like that. Let me see here. Why is this? I think we need to go back to our terminal, start the server. Oh, the proxy is never gonna work now because we haven't updated the proxy to use what's it called? To use the proxy is still using mangoes. So now this needs to change to dial. I even tried character pointer and then do pointer minus minus. Yeah, I mean, I think you're just gonna get a seg fault every time, right? Like, regardless of how you generate a 0 pointer that points to 0. I think whenever you call it, it's gonna get a seg fault. That's the OS protecting the memory. Like the OS won't let you go out of bounds of what memory your process has. We're right back. I need to go to the bathroom. Sadly, Jomi can't experiment. Can't run your little experiments. How terrible. I feel like I'm on the cusp of having a good socket abstraction. I have a lot of rewritten code. Like a lot of the client connection stuff that I use to connect the client to the proxy is very similar to what I use to handle the server connections that the proxy makes. And those are going to be very similar to the connections that this needs to be. I'm trying to think though. I almost feel like I should make something more, like I kind of made it specific by passing a network channel and things like that. But I think what I should do is make it more generic. Like there should be just a generic like client side and server side connection. This is very similar to what I'll have to do. I'll have to dial. Oh, this is just me retrying. But really what I need to create is I need to create another one of these, which has a dial retry loop. I wonder how like locked in this is to, it operates on a netcon. That's pretty generic. So it shouldn't really be tied into WebSockets, I don't think. Except for maybe the retry loop might need to do that. It's hard to capture all of the right states of a network connection. Let's see what happens. We dial, we have a server connection, then we start listening. This is to help host, like first we connect to the server. This will stay the same though. Starting proxy. I mean, we could probably just make a really simple one for now. I guess this is the part that's gonna be weird. Yeah, because dial, we do WebSocket.dial. But what I could do is I could change this so that, like if I wanted to reuse the proxy, if I wanted to reuse this client connection object for the proxy, I would probably just detect like the transport mode. If it's WebSocket, then I'll do this. Otherwise, I'll do like TCP or something. Maybe this says TCP. I guess it's worth it to invest in looking at the net URL. I think maybe it's in this package. Address network. Oh yeah, look at that. How do I make an address? Let's see. Oh, net URL. This seems to be like for HTTP. I don't think I really need to deal with this stuff. I think what I really need is an address. From the reverse lookup of the given, returning a list of names mapping to that address. Look up host or CIDR. This is like a gateway. What does this give me? Find address. List of the system's unicast interface addresses. Oh, interesting. So I can look up the addresses that I support. Temporary buffers. Read. Buffer's getting 0 more runs of bytes to write. On certain machines or certain types of connections, this is optimized into OS-specific batch write operation. I don't understand what this means. Local address versus a remote address. Oh, that's cool. You can do .http for the HTTP port. Well, that's kind of cool. I could probably just use that instead of doing my my thing. Sorry, I'm just like looking. I just need to read through this and see what's what. Dialer is something that can dial, I guess. Hardware address, IP, or IP address. There's gotta be like a parse address or something like that, right? That returns an address. That's not. Let's look. Parse? Where does parse error get returned from though? You're telling me nobody returns this? Yeah, I don't really understand this. Parse IP. Parse S has an IP address. Return the result. IPv6. That also returns nil. That's not gonna return an. I don't think that returns an address though. Like it sucks because I want like I want this. I want this interface, but I want to parse whatever and turn it into that. I don't really know how to do that. Like does TCP address have it has network, but it doesn't have the other one. It doesn't have address. So it doesn't implement that address interface. Oh no, string is the other one. I see. I guess it just feels weird to say like TCP address, all TCP address, net IP. Oh, this is for IP. Does that implement the interface here? String, and we just need network. Man, this is hard to figure out. I don't understand. I guess it doesn't necessarily make it a TCP address. It just gives you an IP. I guess we could just keep the string separate and then just like if this, then do this, and if this, then do this other thing. I guess we'll do that. Okay. Would have been nice to be able to just combine them all together though. Maybe there's some like Golang parse network from URL. Oh, it's probably the scheme. I hate when I just want to go to net URL. Okay. Yeah, so scheme is what I want, I think. Scheme. Okay, that's that. This would be TCP scheme then. They'll have a URL. They'll do a new client con where you pass in the URL. Oh, but now it can fail. That's kind of annoying. We'll just return an error. Okay, we have a URL, u.scheme. I think the rest is the host. We'll leave URL to host and scheme, the host of the parsed URL. Then when we try to dial, the scheme is WS. Scheme equals TCP net. It's probably like net dot. I think I have it right here. Do I have anything else? Times it. Oh, it's 10:30. Here's what I'll do. I need to wrap up. You're here trying to make a common interface for both proxy client cons and client cons. All right, boys. That's gonna be it for today. Thanks for stopping by. I have to go. I hope you all enjoyed. It was fun though. We actually got quite a lot done. Did we? Yeah. We migrated a lot from Mangos, which was good, I think. So we're on the right path now, at least. Yeah, see you, Dinik. Thanks for stopping by. See you, JJ. Bye, everyone else. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're slowly making progress. Eventually, I'll have some good interfaces. It just takes a little while, you know? So, all right, guys. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your day or end of your day, wherever time zone you're in. So, bye-bye.